In the eternal city of Rome lives the oldest diaspora in the Western Jewish world.
Ci troviamo però anche nel quartiere che oggi rappresenta.
Here we are in the street that today represents the rebirth of the Jewish community of Rome.
I call it the JCC open air of the Jewish community of Rome because instead of gathering in a building, we prefer gathering here. We're Italian and we're Jewish.
In a tiny pocket of Rome along the Tiber River and next to the ancient Octavian Gate is the Jewish quarter, known as the Ghetto.
In Rome, in fact, there were different ethnic groups of Jews since the ancient time. From the catacombs, we have even one of the most ancient images of the menorah. They moved to Rome for economical reasons. Rome was the most important economical center of the world. And then, of course, slaves under Pompeius in the 60s before the Roman era, and after the destruction of the Second Temple because of Titus. The first Jewish area has been Trastevere, in the other side of the bridge, outside the holy bounds of Rome.
As their situation in Rome improved, Jews moved across the river into the city boundaries. They settled in a poor area where the ancient fish market was located.
The role of the Jews in Rome was always important, in particular after the arrivals of the Sephardic Jews.
In the ghetto, there were 5 different synagogues for each Jewish community: the Castilian, Catalonian, Sephardic, Sicilian, and Italian. It wasn't until the Middle Ages in 1555 that Jews were forced into the ghetto area. The ghetto was a walled quarter with 3 gates that were locked at night.
With the decline of Rome and the rise of the Christian church, everything changed from Jews. The Inquisition moved to Rome. It was created in Rome, the Tribunale del Santo Uffizio, and that modified completely the approach of the Catholic authorities to the Jews.
The Jews were confined to living in the ghetto for the next 350 years.
You can see some of the original apartments of the ghetto, and you can see how many floors used to be packed because the Jewish population was growing and growing, and the area could not be enlarged. And so for this reason, they had to add floors. They had to keep adding floors to be squeezed more.
With the Napoleonic emancipation and the unification of Italy in 1870, Jews were free to leave the ghetto. Many rotted tenements were razed and replaced with grand buildings. Roman Jews became active in civic and cultural life. One, Ernesto Nathan, was a mayor of the city.
Raccontare della storia degli ebrei di Roma.
The Jewish community strongly contributed to the unity of Italy.
The centerpiece of the ghetto is the Great Synagogue, Tempio Maggiore. It is a magnificent work of architecture with its tall Greek columns and colorful cupola, a celebration of freedom to be appreciated from near and far.
Noi siamo una comunità nella quale si può iscrivere chiunque sia ebreo.
We are a community where everyone who is Jewish, according to the Halacha, can take part, but we don't demand of our members a strict religious observance.
The era of Jewish emancipation ended in 1938 when Italy, allied with the Nazis, passed anti-Semitic racial laws and collaborated in the Holocaust.
The Jews were deported from here on the 16th of October, 1943.
It was a devastating blow to a small and fragile community. Today, there are about 15,000 Jews living in Rome, few of them in the ghetto area. Rome's Jewish population is now comprised of ancestors of the original community, the Sephardim, and the influx of Libyan Jews after 1967. Rome's Jewish history is preserved in the new Jewish Museum next door to the Great Synagogue. It draws large numbers of visitors, tourists, and school children. Nearby, there is a Jewish school. and the JCC with a full calendar of cultural and social activities.
Yes, I come here every day because here there is the school. It's my life.
Today, the ghetto has become a popular neighborhood known for its authentic Jewish food and culture.
I want you to see how this streets and this shops and this apartment got gentrified in the last years, and what used to be a place of pain and sorrow, today it's a beautiful district of Rome full of nice boutique shops, art galleries and amazing restaurants. In Roman slang we use an expression that says dove si magnuca Dio ci conduca, which means wherever there is food, God help us finding the way.
Whether it's the famous carciofi alla Judea, the Jewish artichokes, eggplant dishes, tasty pasta and fish platters, or sumptuous desserts, there's a wide choice of kosher or kosher-style restaurants in the ghetto, a magnet for food lovers seeking the authentic Cucina Ebraica Roma, the Roman Jewish cuisine. The story of Rome's Jews is still being written.
Intanto sono 22 secoli, un po' di più.
The Jewish community has lived here for 22 centuries. Because Rome is an important center, as long as others remain here, we will remain here as well.
We managed to stay alive through food tradition, through the celebration of holidays. We stay Jewish, and to be a member of the Jewish community of Rome, it makes me really proud. This is a community that lasted for 2,000 years, and with the help of God for many years more.